James Craig, the Colorado dentist, arrested for poisoning his wife with a protein shake. His trial is about to begin. Today, what happened, what it means, and what's next for James Craig, the alleged killer dentist. We're going to walk into this without preconceived anti-dentite notions here, Stacey. Okay?
Well, then,
I know you're an anti-dentite, and I don't know why.
I'm not.
They are their own group. We got to respect them.
Dude, I can't talk about it, but after the 9 days that I've had, this has been the most torturous time of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still showing up, trying at least. Not doing a great job, but I'm trying. This story is going to hit me right in the fucking feels. I can tell you that right off the bat. And I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum. But hopefully I will still be here in the next few days, that nothing like this will happen to me in the next few days. The next 48 hours, It's a possibility.
Okay.
I'm putting it out there so that when you do the story about what happened to me, you can go, she predicted this, and then play this clip right here.
Let's hope that nothing happens.
Yeah.
But you are being safe, and you have people and friends, and we won't go into more detail, but anyway.
Yeah. But yeah,
So you're not completely an anti-dentite, you're just selective anti-dentite.
I'm surrounded by a lot of dentists.
Okay.
And most of them are okay.
Okay, so you're not completely okay. Well, all right.
The one that concerns me is not a dentist.
Okay.
So
there was anti-dentite is actually a phrase from Seinfeld. Did you know that? Because there was an episode.
I did recognize it.
There was an episode where, like, are you an anti-dentite? Yeah. So
that's funny.
But
almost sounds like anti-Semite. So that's probably
it's
why they grabbed
anti-dentite. Yes. Oh yeah, I never even thought of that. Yeah, that's probably the connection. Anyway, let's be honest. When you hear a Colorado dentist arrested for poisoning his wife with a protein shake, you probably assume it might be, kind of a bad Netflix script. Nope. This one's real. His name's James Craig, DDS, former suburban family man, churchgoer, and allegedly amateur toxologist. This guy,
I remember this.
We've talked about this guy before. It's just his trial has been on hold and then postponed over and over. We were talking about this guy about almost 3 years ago. Yeah. At the beginning of this podcast, right when we started, this was one of our early stories, actually. Well, he's now starring in his own real-life horror story. It's the twisted tale of marriage, murder, cyanide, and court delays so bizarre they almost sound scripted. So we're going to get everybody caught back up into where this is at after these several years, because his trial, supposedly, going to be starting. So we'll be watching that and reporting on it for you. So let's dive into the history of James Craig and the story. The alleged killer husband whose defense team fell apart faster than his alibi. So what happened? At the beginning, Angela Craig, she was 43, mother of 6, married for 23 years to James Craig. And they're Mormons. Started feeling very sick.
Plot twist.
Well, I don't know if it has anything to do with this other than they have a lot of kids, but it was another of the many cases that we have unproportionally that involve Mormon murder. There's something in the water. So 23 years together, she started feeling sick in early March of 23. Not flu symptoms, seizures, hallucinations, full shutdown of body functions. The kind of sickness that makes doctors think, hey, maybe we should call the cops. Turns out they did. She landed in the hospital on March 15th. 3 days later, brain dead. This is a healthy 43-year-old woman. This just doesn't, happen.
No.
Within 24 hours, James Craig was in handcuffs, accused of slipping a fatal dose of potassium cyanide into her protein shake. I wonder how many protein shakes kill people in the course of a year now. I mean, not the shake itself, just what people slip into protein shakes, because you can slip a lot of shit into protein shakes, apparently, and you'd be none the wiser.
I just had one this morning that I made.
I'd be hiding that powder.
Yeah.
Anyway, but wait, there's more. This wasn't a one-time dose. Prosecutors allege he tried multiple times, first with arsenic, then moving on to cyanide. And when she didn't die...
Wait a minute, Tony.
Yeah?
If at first you do not succeed, try again.
I think of the Leah song when you can knock it off and try again. You can bust it off and try again. If at first you don't succeed, you can and try again. You can dust it off and try again. Been a long time, since I met you. Without a dope beat to step two, step two. We never played it.
That song?
It's called Try Again from Aaliyah.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't play it in central Wisconsin on Top 40 radio because, it wasn't a hair band.
True. Good point.
Yeah. When she didn't die fast enough, he doubled down. In fact, investigators claim Angela's blood cyanide levels increased while she was in the hospital, suggesting James might have tried to finish the job even as doctors were trying to save her. Now, how did they catch him? Well, easy, because James Craig, for all his dental degrees, left a digital trail so obvious it may as well have said, "I'm doing a murder." Big old I'm doing a murder.
Mm-hmm.
Be best at murder.
Sounds like he tried. I give him kudos for the effort here.
He Googled things like how much arsenic to kill someone and, quote, is arsenic detectable in autopsy? There's a little shorthand going on, it seems like. Then he ordered the arsenic and cyanide to his office. Like, buddy, you're not Lex Luthor. His coworker, Dr. Ryan Redfern, opened a package at their dental clinic labeled cyanide because apparently James forgot dentists don't need cyanide.
No, why would they? Why is that something they would ever need?
Experimental dental work. This is going to whiten teeth like never before. And that's
there's a lot of things that we do to our bodies that are toxic in the hopes that it will help beauty. If somebody came to me and said, what if I injected cyanide into your, into the circles around your eyes, would that help?
Somebody once said, let's do botulism.
Well, right. People use that for, what is it, migraines? Is it?
Well, yes, you can use it for migraines, but it's not, it's used more for, enhancements and getting rid of wrinkles and all that.
Who was the first dumbass who went, I'm going to try this and see what happens?
Probably a rat.
Probably.
And then a human being. And then somewhere along the line, they're like, ooh, don't inject that far over there. We paralyzed her for the rest of her life. Ooh. Bad move. Let's a little more in this part of the skin. Well.
Do you think James Craig and Corey Richins are like in the same wing? Do they have like a poisoning wing?
These stories both broke around the same time, too.
Yeah.
They would really be a great match. Maybe we could hook them up.
There's a new dating app.
Killers. Oh, my gosh.
Wow. So you swipe the throat or you punch in the stomach?
You swipe the throat or you punch it. So punch in the stomach means you're interested? And swiping the throat?
Kind of like a friendly punch.
Okay.
Swipe to the throat is no.
Okay.
That's a block.
All right.
Something.
Then it animates the picture for you, too.
Yeah.
Well, with AI, that wouldn't be hard. Wow. There you go. Red Farm told a nurse at the hospital who told police, who told a little bird. No, but the police found out. And boom, an avalanche of warrants, lab tests, and ultimately an arrest. Gets worse. Craig allegedly told Redfern that Angela had asked him to order the cyanide because she was suicidal. So a story no one, not even the court, could find credible. Text from Angela said she felt drugged, to which James replied, "I didn't drug you," which feels about as convincing as, "I swear it's not what it looks like." The police dug deeper. They found even more. Craig had been having an affair with a Texas orthodontist. Oh.
There it is.
Oh, those kinky orthodontists. Those vixens. He met at a dental conference, which we all know is code for dentite orgy. Let me bring the drill out. You want Mr. Thirsty?
Oh my God.
Here comes Mr. Thirsty.
I'll show you a dental dam, honey.
Oh, God.
This is why you hired me. Don't sit there and look at me like I'm insane. This is why
laughing.
you brought me on board.
I'm not looking at you like you're insane. I'm laughing. So, that's what goes down at the dental conferences.
It's not just dentists.
Well, yeah, I would probably say that's almost any profession. You probably have an element of that going on at any sort of conference, depending on, who it is.
Tony, there was a time that I worked in the electronic industry right out of college, and they sold hard drives. This company did in Minnesota, and that's about as far as I'm going to go with that discussion. But they would go out to CES, which is out in Las Vegas.
The Consumer Electronics Show, yeah.
Correct. And it was complete debauchery. It was, they would buy like 24 packs of condoms and, their wives, send them off. They come to work. Everybody carpools to the airport and they go.
Oh my
and like
God.
they stockpile. Here's just condoms. And I'm like, wow, people. It was just, we're talking cocaine on the table, condoms in the pocket. It was all of it. And these are some of the most straight-laced nerds you'd ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
But they let their freak flag fly out in Vegas for CES.
It's almost like that episode of the Righteous Gemstones early on where they all get busted and it's,
like The Hangover, too.
Yeah.
Really, the stories that I heard, and I heard it from people who don't lie.
Sure.
Like the straight-laced ones that would go out there legitimately to be at the conference and learn something. We're just appalled by their coworkers who didn't even go to the conference half the time.
I don't think
they were there for everything else.
I'm sure. I don't think it's a shock that that's a thing with a certain sect of the population that's what they do. But he even flew her out while Angela was dying in the hospital bed. Romance, right? Just nothing says love like that. Prosecutors believe the motive here was a mix of financial gain. Craig had $3.4 million in life insurance on Angela. And the classic get rid of the wife so I can shack up with the mistress cliche. So
I'm being really, really talkative today, and I'm going to try to keep myself contained here for just a second, I promise. But
connect the dots, children.
Let me say something while I'm in my anger phase. If you want to cheat, if there's somebody else that's grabbed your attention so much that you can't focus on life because you need to be with this person, get the fuck out of your marriage, okay? It's not that hard. I get it. It turns your world upside down, but just get out. Just go to your person and go, you know what? This isn't working for us. It's time for us to move on. And you can split things up. Be friendly, move along. You don't have to kill anybody. You don't have to make life like War of the Roses. Go look it up if you don't know the reference. You can just go, let's just be done and move on with our lives and find our happy. Let's just go, because we thought it was going to be here. It's not here. Let's go find it.
Or get some arsenic and ship it to your dental office.
Oh, God. You don't have to do that. Anybody listening who is in a very shitty situation and you're just being dragged down year after year, you can get out of the situation. You don't have to resort to this. You just don't. Off the soapbox.
The more you know.
There you go.
What was
You'll
the
be
guy
playing this part too.
What was the guy who did It was like an X-ray or something, and there was lead. It was lead. It was the lead it was an X-ray guy in his office. He had like a new X-ray thing built, and I know I'm being not specific because I don't know what I'm talking about, other than there was extra lead. And whatever they were using to insulate this room, because you needed to, there was like scraps, basically. It was just scrap material from the construction. And the guy was like, oh, you can just leave that here. I'll take care of it. So the construction people didn't pick it up. And he took the lead, and then he started I don't know if he killed her or what, but I don't remember the details, but he poisoned the wife with the lead, and it was another doctor type deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
The lesson to be learned is you will get caught. So if you were concerned about how your lifestyle is going to change by a divorce, imagine how your lifestyle changes when you get sent to prison for the rest of your life, because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's I would say it's probably a dramatic shift, a dramatic change from being a doctor.
You'll be screwing your mistress to the guy who's being screwed in prison. So you make the choice. You make the decision.
The choice is yours, kids. Make it now. And then the camera pans out and you hear the music from America's Funniest Home Videos, like you're picking the most funny one. Dun, 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 dun. It's etched in my head forever. The Bob Saget years in the 90s. Anyway, so what does all of it mean with this guy? Well, let's call it what it is. Premeditation wrapped in narcissism, seasoned with a sprinkle of dumb criminal energy. Level of planning here wasn't minor. He didn't just wake up one day and panic. He allegedly researched, ordered, experimented. It's not impulse, that's calculation, just very, very bad execution. All allegedly. He's innocent until proven guilty. So let's preface that with everything we're saying here. Blanket everything we're saying in allegedly. Ooh, magic alleged dust. The irony, Craig was a dentist, a guy sworn to protect people's health, a respected professional, church-going father of 6. Of course. It's the perfect mask for a monster, which makes the story resonate with that chilling suburban evil energy. Like the guy next door with the nice lawn and a murder kit in the glove box. Here's where it twists even harder. After being locked up, James Craig allegedly tried to have the lead detective murdered.
Oh my God.
Yes, you heard that right. Prosecutors say he hatched a jailhouse plot to pay another inmate $20,000 to kill Detective Bobby Olson and a few others. And if that wasn't cartoon villain enough, he also asked the same inmate to forge suicide notes from Angela to support his defense that she wanted to die. You can't make this stuff up unless you're a screenwriter working on Breaking Bad, the dental years. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
It's like the college years of Saved by the Bell. Not quite the same, but kind of.
Kind of.
God, this guy's evil. Allegedly. If all this is, I mean, this puts him, I'm learning this for the first time as we're going through this, because it's been a while since I've looked at this story. But wow.
This dude was really working hard.
This is going to be a fun one to watch. I think this is our summer murder mystery. This isn't just a murder trial anymore. It's turned into a full-blown saga of manipulation, gaslighting, and potential witness tampering. The prosecution isn't just trying to prove he poisoned his wife. They're also now alleging he tried to kill law enforcement and fabricate evidence from jail. If there's a kitchen sink left, he'd probably be aiming at that next. And then came the legal clown car. His defense attorney quit the night before trial last time, claiming Craig wanted him to do something criminal or fraudulent. No details on what that was, but when your lawyer of record pieces out 12 hours before opening statements, that's a red flag the size of Colorado, where this is taking place. So the trial was delayed. New attorney stepped in, and then that attorney was arrested for arson after his house caught fire. I'm not joking. Wow. Allegedly sitting there as the house burned. You can't even make this timeline work in fiction without getting notes from your editor like, it's too much. Pull that back. Let's pull that back. So, what's next? Well, as of this week, in July 2025, we are finally on the edge of trial. Jury selection is underway and opening statements are expected in just a few days. The prosecution plans to roll out a mountain of digital evidence, toxology reports, and a witness list that includes Angela's family, medical experts, his former dental staff, and yes, the jailhouse informant who turned on him. The defense, meanwhile, is trying to claim this was all a tragic misunderstanding, like R. Kelly or Diddy or insert other crazy case here. That the poisons were for his own suicide attempt. Oh, well, silly us. Why are we here? Let's just stop.
What, she drank the protein shake instead of him by accident?
All accident. It happened to get there.
Hate when that happens.
It does happen. That Angela may have ingested something accidentally. That a man who Googled undetectable poison and had an affair while his wife died was just, misunderstood. He's a good guy. Might be a stretch. Just a little. But what's really on trial here is something deeper. Our faith in the people closest to us. The unsettling idea that the person you trust to make your breakfast shake might be blending in more than just protein powder. The James Craig case isn't just about one wife allegedly murdered. It's about how far someone will go to save face, escape a life they built, and erase a partner they promised to love. And the tragic, chilling part? Angela never saw it coming. That's a real story behind the headlines. A dentist, a shake, a calculated betrayal, and a trial that might finally deliver the justice Angela Craig and her 6 children deserve. We'll keep watching this one. And if it's broadcast, we will broadcast it. Stacey,
I bet this one's going to get traction.
Yeah. I just started paying attention back to this one today, but we'll follow it, and we'll report on it for the next however long it takes. I'm gonna do another deep dive on this to get myself caught up. But this is going to be a fascinating one to watch. I mean, it already was, but now he's trying to get people killed allegedly, and I want to know about that attorney more with the house that was on fire, and he was allegedly sitting from reports I've seen, and look, I have no way to verify any of this at this moment in time. This is just as I was getting ready for this. So I could be completely off. This is all 1,000% allegedly. The house fire, I guess the guy was allegedly, from what I was hearing, he was like on his porch, there waiting for the cops to come. Like, what did you do here? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know, mental break. I got to look into that more. Again, like I said, I may be completely off. So I got to look into that more. But It's weird. There's a lot of weird. What did he tell his first attorney? That he had to quit. And the fact that this guy's willing to go to these lengths, this is like a monster. This is not just a narcissist who didn't get his way and was trying to have an affair. This is a guy who's willing to destroy anything along his path if these claims are true.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like kind of a normal dude.
Yeah, he kind of does. I mean, God, he was face to face, literally, with lots of people in his practice. Can you imagine being one of his patients going, he did what?
What the hell happened?
That guy was like right here in my face.
I wonder if drugs were involved on his end. Like, I mean, it's quite an about face to be married for that many years and then suddenly like have this kind of a mindset of you can go try and put hits on people. And like, it's extreme, even for someone who tried to kill their partner.
How do you have that kind of a breakdown?
I mean, is it, or just does he have a history that nobody else knows about or they haven't found out yet?
It's possible.
I don't know. I don't know how at 22 years of marriage, then you're suddenly starting to have this long distance affair. I don't know. I've never cheated. So I don't know what would be considered normal for something like that.
I think you start to get a dopamine hit from every time you get away with it.
Well, and does it mean that 22 years he started doing that? Or is that, one would almost guess there's a pattern of this from a far, far long time, but who knows? I mean, sometimes maybe, you're in a long marriage and then you end up being unhappy, but you were happy for a good chunk of it, so you did it. I don't know. I just wonder if
you've always been that way.
I just wonder if there's a history of that. I don't know. We want to watch. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. Let us know in the comment section what your thoughts are on this case. And do that on YouTube. Search Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi, and that's where you can weigh in. Be sure to press subscribe wherever you're listening or downloading so you don't miss any of our episodes here at True Crime Today of the Hidden Killers podcast. Until next time, for Stacy, I'm Tony. We'll talk again real soon.
Craving non-stop true crime updates? Press subscribe now and get the latest cases, analysis, and expert commentary delivered straight to your feed. Only from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.